And here we are, infinite weight loss until you become a black hole. No, for real, guys. If you don't know me, my name's Gordon Koopman. I have been a personal trainer coach for the last 15 years now. Got a degree in kinesiology, nutrition, and psychology, and this is just what I love to do. So in this video, I'm essentially going to break down how I would prioritize you implementing new habits. With no baloney, no bullshit, what's going to work best and likely to be the most sustainable for you to get to sick and tired, unconfident, don't feel healthy, to full of confidence, ton of energy every day, and just happier. I'm not going to assume, but like if you're watching this video, you probably feel a little disappointed, stuck, lost, shame, guilt. Like I've helped hundreds of people do this, and it's like this. Typically, what I notice is there's this mental block going on. Okay, so that is where working with a coach is really good, because you can build trust with them. They can get to know you and just ask those deeper questions. But if you don't want to work with someone and you want to do this on your own, then this is the video for you. Little story. I obviously hang out with a lot of coaches, and we were sort of having a argument the other day of like, what would be the two things we would prioritize if we wanted someone to lose weight. And me and someone I respect basically were close, and the things we argued about would for sure be top three, but my top two were sleep and diet, and his were walking and diet. Now, food is weird because if it's an addiction, something we use for stress, it's also food is very social. It brings us together. We like right now it's November 1st. We got this arc of holidays coming up, and how do you manage that and not feel like you're not part of the tribe, the group, the family, right? Especially if like you feel like an outlier already, and now you're changing all these things, and it's like kind of like stripping a part of your identity, which is hard in any respect, right? Whether you've like had a hobby, got injured, can't do it anymore, to like someone broke up with you, and like, so it's not an easy thing, but almost like that's why walks would be so important, because like in this time of not only like walking is going to be the most sustainable, and if we're doing it for 30 plus minutes, your body is in a fat burning mode. Fat storage is for endurance energy. Okay, so it's not about elevating your heart rate super high, it's just about getting it to like 110, 120, and maintaining that for a longer period of time so that your body can start burning body fat. I actually looked this up today with a 45-minute walk, and on average, I burn anywhere from like 200 to calories a day, right? Like there's different variables like height. I want to get super nitty gritty with this, but let's just go low. And like, I'm going to share some numbers and some math with you. Okay. This might not be entertaining to everyone, but 7 days a week, right? There are 3,500 calories in 1 pound of fat. So 3,500 calories. Now let's say we add that 30-minute walk 7 days a week. Good, clean, fresh air, a time to not focus on the day and sort of just de-stress. That alone is going to burn 1,500 calories a week. That's half a pound, okay? Anything you look up will say that a healthy rate of weight loss is 1 to 2 pounds a week. Okay, so just in implementing this 30-minute walk, you are going to be able to de-stress, start to like reorganize, um, and almost like sit with the darkness as to like why this is so difficult. Okay. So changing nothing else, right? Like walking is a phenomenal tool. It's low impact. The first couple of days, if we are very sedentary, are going to be tough. But um, I have a client, newer one right now I just started with. He's 340. Okay. And within the first week, we'd like finish a set of exercise and his heart rate was at like 140 and he needed to rest. He was just like, this is tough, can't catch my breath. And within a week, his heart rate at the end of the sets were like 110, 120. And he's like, okay, I can totally crank this. Like your body will adapt really fast. It's just like you're coming up to something that's like really hard to change. And then it's going to feel really, really, really uncomfortable in that first 1 to 2 weeks. So ultimately having somebody that you can like really rely on you to keep you coming back within those first 2 weeks is so important, because after that you're like, oh, this is like not as hard as it was the first week, which will probably drive a lot of motivation. Like not even looking at numbers, just like how you feel. Like you're going to feel way better, way less stressed, right? And expand the time horizon on this, guys. Like it's not something that happens quickly at all. And you might have a ruminating brain and negative thoughts pop in your head, and you have to just stretch it out. Okay. So, walking aside, I mean, we'll shift to diet. Now, it's very healthy to not label foods as good or bad foods, right? Like, nothing's completely off the menu, but getting an education or educating yourself at least a little bit on what things are really, really like of great detriment. I'm going to pause for dramatic effect because 90% of the time we do know. Okay. Um, but that aside, like if you have been eating a lot of processed foods for a while, it is likely that you need a metabolic reset. Like your insulin sensitivity is out of whack, and everything you eat is just going to turn into fat because your body can't regulate its own blood sugar. So getting to a point where we have a nice plan routine, and you can do this one meal at a time. Let's just say you just want to switch breakfast for a week and you just want a consistently good breakfast. Here are some potential options. I usually do a smoothie. In my smoothie, I do oatmeal, egg whites, spinach, frozen fruit, Greek yogurt. I own my own business, work 14-hour days. I'm up at 4 a.m. That's something I can make and take with me out the door, drinking in the car, or kind of sip on it while I'm drinking my first client. So it's not something where I need to like sit and eat. It's just like, okay, I need this fuel and I want to be consistent with this. And it's super easy. It takes like 2-3 minutes to make. Another option would be eggs and hash browns. Yeah, I said hash browns. But the way you would cook the hash browns would probably be different. And you want to look at the package and make sure it's not hash browns that are full of extra fat, because fats are not that fats are bad, but fats are calorically dense. So finding just essentially like shredded potatoes. Potatoes are a starch and they don't spike our blood glucose that much. I was biting my tongue when I was trying to say that. And if we use spray olive oil, that's still going to help them crisp up. You can also put them in an air fryer and use no oil, which again is going to keep those potatoes very, very low caloric density. And I mean, you could eat a ton of them, and it's not a lot of calories, which is just going to help keep us full throughout the morning. Last would probably be like bowl of oatmeal with a scoop of protein powder in it. So there's like 3 super viable options. Fourth one, also, like, I'll do a bowl of like Cheerios, because Cheerios are oat flour based, basically oatmeal. And I put egg whites in there. Most people irk at that, but if you buy egg whites in the carton, they're already pasteurized. I do about 200 grams of egg whites, and then I top that off with whatever milk of your choice that you currently drink. Eat the bowl of cereal, drink the milk and egg whites, and you're out the door. So obviously, choice is yours. But I mean, there are 4 very viable breakfasts that you can have in the morning. Last, I'll give you a 5th. Let's go bonus. Let's go number 5. Every morning, I'll do a protein coffee. So coffee in the cup. For me, I'm a big boy. 2 scoops of protein powder, and then I grab 2 pieces of fruit. That's my breakfast. Same thing. I'm up early, out the door, and I got in a high protein meal. Fruit, very high in nutrients. Don't worry so much about sugar from fruit, okay? Because fruit usually comes with fiber, and fiber will keep your blood sugar from spiking. So these are literally, you could mix and match that and eat one of each of those and have 4 meals a day. And like you're gonna melt, right? So what I'm telling you guys, like with infinite weight loss, this is like the secret. Now, last is our sleep. Now, sleep is tough. I mean, we live in this society where it's always like work, 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 more, and we never feel like we have enough time. So we have a tendency to maybe sacrifice our sleep. Now, when we sleep, that's where a lot of our hormone recovery happens. If we're not getting a lot of sleep, that can increase our cortisol, our stress hormone. And with increased cortisol, at least like for guys, I specialize in training dudes, that's going to decrease our testosterone. Also, if you like stretch that out, if we get poor sleep, we're going to be crankier, we're going to have poor mood, we're going to have worse decision making, thus leading to like when we're in a moment of weakness of like, oh, I have 2 minutes, there isn't time to cook, so I'm going to choose these, Pop Tarts and I don't know, whatever junk, not things that aren't in the program, things that aren't on our plan to reach our goal. Okay. Now, all that being said, like those are the 3 things I would prioritize, probably in this order. Number 1 being diet and working on that. 2, walking. 3, sleep. Okay, so really nailing those things in our routine as consistently as possible where we're at. Okay, so don't view this as like an all or none. Okay, maybe we're just starting and you want to do 3 days a week of just good eating, and 3 days a week you want to get a walk in, and you want to try and be as consistent every night with your sleep, right? You start there, but like you set a goal that like, okay, I did that for 2 weeks and it's not that bad, so now what I'm going to do is do that for 4 or 5 days a week, and kind of in this process you get better at it, right? Like it becomes easier, and your mindset around it feeling like it's difficult or different to just like, oh, this is my new normal and this is okay. But that being said, you can very much neutralize progress. I wouldn't say destroy, but neutralize progress by saying like, I was great all week, so Saturday, let's just say, I'm going to eat whatever I want all day. I'm gonna go out to brunch with my friends, have 3 mimosas. I'm, I'm gonna barbecue with my friends for lunch, and then at dinner, I'm gonna eat whatever and have a bowl of ice cream. Um, so now that basically deficit we created over the week towards your progress is now neutralized by this one day that just calorically the difference matches what we took out during the week. Okay. Um, so that's not saying that we still can't eat the foods that we want to enjoy. But what I'm saying is just being more, what's the word I would say? Just being more diligent and almost like honest with the fact that, like, oh, cool, like Saturday, I'm hanging out with my family and I want to be able to just enjoy my time with them. So I'm going to eat whatever meal they make and we're going to share that together. Or honestly, you can have like maybe a discussion that initially you might feel like embarrassed or a little shame in having with them. But after that first conversation, like maybe now they understand and like support you and like they all adjust because they want to see you reach your goal, you know? Or they accept it, but they continue to do their own thing. And it's like not that big of a deal. Right. So that there is today's blog, Infinite Weight Loss. Again, my name is Gordon Koopman. I'm going to start making one of these videos on a topic like this every Friday. So at some point on Friday, on some super knowledge, really just try and help as many people as possible because it's important to me. I want to see people be healthy, happy, and live long lives. And that is why I'm here, and that is my purpose. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you stayed to the end, please subscribe. It helps a ton. And implement these practices into your life. And like as they start to work, like the other cool thing is like if you look at your circle and they're similar to you, it's going to be really inspiring to even just like your circle that like you are now going to be that person that everyone around you is like, oh, if they can do it, I can do it. And then they're going to ask you like, how'd you do this? And you're going to be like, oh, I watched this like goofy kid on the internet that sort of looks like a hobo talk about weight loss. But no, guys, seriously, have a great weekend. And I look forward to next week's video. Peace.